going to the topic, let us first see what Swiflearn is, right? As you already know by now that what is Swiflearn, it is the India's most sincere learning destination for classes 1 to 10. So over here we give the 100% live and interactive classes where you will be able to understand all the concepts together with your friends, and you can ask any sort of doubt to your teacher. The teacher will clarify all your doubts. Then we have the personalized attention we give to all the students, because in all of our batches the maximum number of students will be 6, not more than that, right? Thirdly, we have a very good dedicated academic mentor team who keeps a track on all the students and the progress of the student, how the student is attending the classes, how they are performing in the homework, how they are solving all the question answers. So everything is tracked by our academic mentor team. And finally, what is most important is we cover all the syllabus as per your school examination schedule, and also we handle the custom request. So if you need more attention in some of the topics, then you will be able to get it like with priority. You will be able to solve the question answer, you will be able to get the classes of that chapter first, and then we will move on to the next chapters. So these are the main features of Swiflearn, and our key features are, first of all, we maintain a detailed progress report of each and every student. Okay, so how the students are performing in each of the examination, in each of the test series, how they're writing down the subjective answers, how they're performing their homework, they're doing the homework or not, everything is tracked and the progress report goes to the parents. This is our key feature. Secondly, we have the Swiflearn academic test series, which we call as the SATs, where you will be able to perform and you will be able to understand where you are standing, right? Thirdly, you can take a unlimited practice test after each and every topic of all the subjects, so that you will be able to understand where you are lagging and where in which topic you need to give more attention and you need to improve, right? And fourthly, that is very important again, that is we have the subjective test series, where you will be able to answer all the question answer, which can carry like 2 marks, 3 marks, 5 marks, along with the diagrams and all. You can write it down, you can upload the diagram, and our teachers will check all those things and they will give you the tips how to improve your answer to score more. So these are our key features. So book a free trial class. So all the trial classes are free, of course, so anytime you can book it and experience all these features of Swiflearn. Okay, so don't be late. Book the free trial class, and now you subscribe our channel in Swiflearn in YouTube. Okay, so what you have to do over here, you have to subscribe it and press the bell icon, right, so that you will be updated with all the upcoming sessions of Swiflearn. Okay, so please do like, comment and share with all your friends and family members, so that you will be updated with all the sessions. Chalo, so now let us move on to our topic. So as I have already said that we will start a new topic today. So our new topic is the cell, which is the structure and function. Okay, so as you already know, you have an idea that where cells are present, right? Where are they present? Yes, inside our body. Hannah? Exactly. So we can say that these are the basic unit or the fundamental unit of living organisms, right? So let us see what we will mainly study today in this chapter. Today we will first study about the discovery of the cell. The scientist who discovered the cell, what he looked into the microscope, what he found first, what is the structure of the cell, this we will study about the history of the cell and the discovery of the cell. Secondly, we will see what a cell actually is. What are the different parts of the cell, what are present within the cell, right? So we will discuss all the different parts of the cell which are present and performing continuously the vital activities of our body, right? Thirdly, we will see the organisms which can be classified on the basis of the number of the cells. So, how many cells are present in our body, or how many cells are present in the body of all the living organisms, we will see. Okay, we will look into it, and how can we distinguish the different organisms on the basis of the number of cells. Fine. And fourthly, we will see what are the different shapes of the cell and what are the different size of the cell, and on which character or on which factor the size of the cell or the shape of the cell actually depends on. Right. So these are our topic of discussion for today's session. Are you all ready for the session? Yes. Okay. Chalo. So find out. Let's just think about one thing, like you all live in the house, right? Exactly. So what is it made up of? Yes, you have the different walls in your house, right? In each of the room you have four walls, definitely, and some doors and windows are also there, है ना? So can you tell me what are these walls of the room made up of? Yes. Can anybody say this to me? Yes, in the chat box. Yes, they are all made up of the bricks, right? So the bricks are arranged in certain organization. It is organized in a certain way with the help of the cement, and they are building our wall, right? Like this. Fine. So we can say that the bricks are helping to make the wall of a house, and all the walls together make the whole house. Right? Up to this much clear? Now, can you imagine like our body is the whole house of something? Right? So similarly, just as bricks make the whole house, our body also have that very tiny small units which make up the whole structure of our body. Do you know what is that? Similar to the brick? Yes, that is the cell. Very good. So just a brick make the whole wall or all the walls of the house. The cells, millions and millions of cells make the whole body of all the living organism. Not only us, it is the body of it. You can see the very tiny insects, an ant or the honeybee, or you can see the all the plants, all the large animals, all their bodies are made up of cell. So we can say, yes, hi Disha. Yes, very good. You have said the correct answer. Cells are the basic unit of the human being, as well as the basic or fundamental unit of all living organism. So which we will consider as the living organism? We will consider the plants, all the animals, and also the microorganisms, which we cannot see through our naked eyes, but we can see them under the microscope. Right? So all the body of the living organisms are made up of cell. Clear? Eh? Very good. Now let us see that I have already said that we have a lot of cells, millions and millions of cells in our body. है ना? So now how to perform the different activities of our body? There must be the group of cell which is performing the activities, right? So what are they called? When there is a group of cell performing a similar type of activity, we call them as the tissues. Okay, so the cells assemble to form the tissues, right? It is the one level higher organization of the plants and animals. Now think about the tissues. Okay, so group of tissue together assemble to form the different organs. So can you name some of the organs of our body? Yes, the nose, hand, tongue. We can see over here the eye, ear. These are the five sense organs. The skin, yes. Then the heart, stomach, lungs. These are all the different organs of our body. So all the organs are made up of the different tissues. Fine. Now all the organs, the particularly certain particular organs together form a system to maintain the proper function of each and every life processes in our body, right? So what are they called? They are known as the organ systems, right? So we can say that the organs together can form the organ system. Can you name some of the organ system? Yes. Okay, so this can be the digestive system. Yes, Disha. Hannah? Yes. Then uh, circulatory system, then the nervous system, then we can say the muscular system, then we can say the excretory system. These are the all different systems continuously working inside our body. The respiratory system, है ना? So they continuously work inside our body to achieve the goal or to maintain our body in a proper way, and that is why we are surviving, right? Exactly. Now we have done from the cells to tissue, tissue to organ, organ to organ system. Now there are various types of organ systems altogether which are present in our body. What are they forming? They are forming the whole organism. Okay, so if I write it like this, there are millions and millions of cells which together form the tissues of our body. So the epithelial tissue, nervous tissue, muscular tissue, they together perform a specific function to form an organ of the body. Now, there are various organs together make up the organ system of our body. There and different organ systems like the digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system, all of them form the whole organism. Okay, it can be an animal like the dog, cat, tiger, lion, elephant, or it can be the human body. Okay, so these are the different levels of organization of living organism. Have you got it now? Yes. Okay, so today we will mainly focus on the very first basic unit of our organism, of the living body, that is the cell. Okay, so today our main focus of discussion is cell. Chalo. So let us see who discovered cell and some history of the cell. Okay, so as you all know that Robert Hooke, he was the scientist who discovered the cell in the year of 1665. Right, Robert Hooke discovered the cell, and the very first cell which he observed under the microscope is the cell of the cork. Okay, it is a slice of a cork. So what is a cork? It is a dead cell, okay, which are present in the bark of the tree. Okay, so cork is the dead cell which is present in the bark of the tree, and this cell was first observed by Robert Hooke under the microscope. And always keep it in mind that the microscope which he used was a very primitive microscope. It was not that much advanced with a very prominent lens, a very powerful lens was not there, and with the help of that primitive microscope, he discovered the very first basic unit of our living organism or our life, that is the cell. So it looked like this. Okay, when he saw this cork slices under the microscope, it looks like this. There are very tiny, tiny partitioned boxes, and the structure resembles the honeycomb structure. Have you ever seen the honeycomb structure? Yes, it seems to be like this hexagonal structure, right? It is present within the beehives where the honey bees used to collect the honey and keep the honey, store the honey mainly. है ना? So this structure was first seen by Robert Hooke under the microscope. Now, after looking into it, it reminded him about the very little rooms of the monasteries where he spent his childhood. Okay, so that is why he gave the term, or he proposed the term of the small, small boxes as cell. Do you know the real meaning of the cell? Yes, exactly. The real term, term cell means the little room because it reminded him about the rooms of his monastery. Okay, so he noticed these boxes under the microscope, and these boxes are partitioned by the wall. Can you see over here? It seems to be like this. Okay, so the cord cells, as you already know, that these are the cells of the plant tissue, right? So obviously they have a different type of partition, right? So can you tell me what is this partition? Yes, what is this covering you can see in these boxes? Yes, they are the cell wall. Okay, so you already know that the cell wall is present in the plant cell only. है ना? It gives the rigidity and support to the plant cell. So he first saw this type of cells, this type of partition and the box-like structures, and he coined the term cell. That means the little room, and it is all about the discovery of the cell. Fine. Now, after the discovery of the cell, it was very little known about the cell, because just after the discovery of the cell by Robert Hooke, for the next 150 years, there was no such research work going on the cell. It was very little known about the cell because there was no any proper type of lens or the powerful lens which are nowadays used in the microscope. So due to the lack of a proper microscope, nobody could learn more about the cells in the next 150 years. But after that, due to the discovery of the more efficient microscope with the very powerful lenses, it was first discovered, I can say, by Antony van Leeuwenhoek. You have already heard this name, I guess, right? So Antony van Leeuwenhoek first discovered the modern microscope with a powerful lenses, where we will be able to understand, we will be able to see or study in detail all the very tiny microscopic organisms or the very tiny microscopic structures, right? So later on, this research of the cell carried on, and nowadays also the research is going on, and the study of this cell is known as cytology. Fine, up to this much clear, I guess. Yes? Okay. Now let's move on to what is a cell actually. Right? So, what do you mean by the cell? As Disha has already written, it is the basic unit of human being. Right? Not only the human being, I would say that cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all living organism. Okay, it will include the structural and the functional unit of a very tiny microscope, which we can, microorganism, very sorry, which we cannot see through our naked eyes, like the bacteria, virus, or if I say about the fungi, okay, algae, right? And also they are present in the plants, the very small grasses, and the tall trees like the coconut tree, as well as they are also the structural and functional unit of all the living animals, right? Starting from a very small ant to a very large elephant. Okay, so we can say that the cell is the basic fundamental unit of all living organism. Now I will stress on the very particular word, that is structural unit. Why do you think that the cell is the structural unit? Anybody, can you tell me? Yes. Why we are calling the cell as a structural and also functional unit? हम क्यों बोलेंगे इसको structural and functional? हाँ? Yes. Because it gives the structure to all living bodies, right? We have a proper structure of our body, है ना? So who is giving us the structure in the very basic fundamental state? It is given by the cell. Fine. And also it is the functional unit. What do you mean by that? Yes. Why are we calling the cell as the functional unit? Because they are performing a specific function in our body. So whatever components are present in the cell, may it be the nucleus, it can be the mitochondria, it can be the Golgi bodies, it can be the ribosome, lysosome, each of them are performing certain functions in our cell, right? And that is why we can also do all the different activities, है ना? So that is why we can call the cell as the structural and functional unit of living organism. Clear hai? Up to this much clear to all of you? Yes. Now, as we can see that the cell is very small, so tiny that we cannot see through the naked eyes most of the time, hai na? But it is very complex. Why am I calling it complex? Anybody has any idea? Can you tell me why I'm saying that the cells are the complex structure? Yes? Okay. So there are various components within the cell also, right? So can you just go through this picture? Yes, can you see this picture? It is the microscopic picture of the cell. We can see that there are certain things which are also present within the cell, right? So these certain things together are known as cellular organelles. Fine. So the cell is the basic unit of the life which contain many smaller parts within it. What are the smaller parts? Anybody, can you tell me the names of the different parts of the cell which are present within the cells? Together we call them the cell organelles, right? Or cellular organelles. Can you tell me what we can see over here? This one, this pink colored, this is the nucleus, right? Okay. Anything else? Any other cell organelle? Can you tell me in the chat box? Yes. Okay, the ribosome. Hannah? Yes, the ribosomes are there. Anything else are present within the cell? Yes. And they are all floating in the fluid which is called cytoplasm, right? So you can see this fluid, that is the cytoplasm. Okay. Now, can you tell me any other cellular organelles other than nucleus, ribosome? Endoplasmic reticulum, right? Which we call in short as ER. Exactly, endoplasmic reticulum. There are the Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus, right? Yes. Then anything else? Mitochondria. Yes. The mitochondria is another cellular organelle which provide the energy to the cell for doing all the chemical reactions, right? Very important. Yes. Then anything else? We can say lysosome. Yeah? Okay. Anything else coming to your mind? Yes, the vacuoles. Okay, very good. The vacuoles. Anything else? Centrosomes, which are mainly present in the animal cells. Yes. Next, anything else coming to your mind which is only present in the plant cell but not present in the animal cell, and that is why plants are green in color? Can you tell me what is that? Yes. The plastids, right? Yes, the chloroplast gives the green color to the plants, right? Yes. So there are three plastids, three types of plastids. You will study them when you will go to class 9. Okay, exactly. So the plastids are also present only in the plant cell, right? So these are all the different cellular organelles or the cell organelles that makes the cell very much complex, right? Other than this, there are also the different types of fibers, the fibrils and the microfibrils are present within the cell, which may help to maintain the rigidity and the shape of the cell, right? So each of this part is responsible for a particular work so that the cell will remain alive, right? So can you tell me any of the working of Any particular cellular organelle? Yes. What do they perform in our cell? Anybody can tell me? Yes, for example, think about the mitochondria. Okay, so we know that the mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Do you know why is it called the powerhouse of the cell? Yes. Let me see who can tell me why mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Okay. Chalo. So I will look into the answer in the chat box. Okay. And let us move on to another. Say it can be ribosome. Okay, so ribosome is another cellular organelle like mitochondria. They help in the synthesis of protein. Okay, न्यूक्लियस के अंदर क्या है, chromosomes है which carry the inherited characters, the hereditary characters from the parents to the offsprings, right? Other than this, the cytoplasm is present which actually hold or where the other cellular organelles are floating, right? So I have not got the answer of the mitochondria why it is called powerhouse, so let me give you the answer on my own, right? So it is the powerhouse of the cell because of the production of the energy, right? So energy is produced within the mitochondria in the form of ATP, and that is why, and by utilizing that energy, all the different reactions, all the different activities are happening within our body, right? And that is why we call it as the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, it is the site for production of energy. Clear hai? So this all the cellular organelles which are present within the cell, they make the cell active and they help the cells to live long for a long period of time. Okay, and help us to perform all the different activities. Clear hai up to this much? Chalo. Now let me give you one tips, or you can say one fact. Do you know that I have already said that the cells are very tiny, we cannot see through the uh, see them without the microscope, but there are also certain cells which are visible. Okay, do you know what is that? The eggs. Okay, the egg of the hen, we have all seen them, right? So the egg cells are the single cell which are visible without the help of the microscope. Okay, they are the larger in size. Clear eh? Okay, now can you tell me how many cells are present in our body? Yes, anybody, can you tell me, do you have any idea that how many cells can be present in our body? Any approximate value? Yes, yes. Okay, it can be like trillions, right? Exactly. 200 trillions of cells can be present in our body. Okay, and if it is a, it depends actually upon the size of the body. It can vary from 30 trillion to 100 trillions of cells. Fine. Okay, so it is not only in our body, apart from us on the earth, it is full of the different living organisms, है ना? कितने सारे तरीके का different types of plants are present, different types of animals are present. All of their bodies are made up of millions and millions of cells. Fine, clear है? So the number of the cell can be millions and millions. Now the different organisms vary in their shape, right? The size. Now their organs will obviously, they will also vary in their shape and size. है ना? So the number of cells, their shape, their size also vary in the different organisms. Fine? Okay. Now depending on how many cells are present within the body of an organism, we can divide the organism into two main types. Okay, into two main categories. The first one is the multicellular organisms. Fine, and the second one is the unicellular organisms. So, what are the multicellular organisms? The organisms within whose body there are more than one cells present. Hi Shivansh, good afternoon beta. How are you? Okay. So multicellular organisms, इसका मतलब क्या है? Multicellular comes from the word multi and cellular. Multi का मतलब है many and cellular means cells. So when any organism have many cells in their body, we will consider them as the multicellular organism. Clear है? Yes? Okay. But we all are the multicellular organism. We can see them through our naked eyes. We can see the cat, dog, tiger and all. But biggest of the biggest organism starts their life from a single cell. So our body have the millions and millions of cells, but our body also started from only one single cells. And that is the fertilized egg. It has a particular name. Can you tell me? Can anybody tell me the name? Just after the fertilization, it is formed. Yes. Okay. So I will look after for this answer, right? Okay. So the fertilized egg start multiplying and they form the embryo, and when the number of the cell increases, they form actually the development of all the organs will be done, and they will form a very small baby. Like this, the millions and millions of the cells are coming with the process of cell division, right? But all of us started from a very single one cell. Okay, so that is the fertilized egg. Okay, can you see in the next picture? It is also given how the development is taking place due to the process of cell division, right? Okay, and this fertilized egg is also known as zygote. है ना? So zygote is the very first cell of each and every living organism. Fine. So after the formation of the zygote, what happens? Continuously cell division will take place and it will form the embryo, then it will form the fetus. If I talk about the human being only, and then after the birth of the baby, we can see the baby. And obviously it will grow due to the cell division, and we will have a particular structure and the size. Right? Have you understood this much? Okay, so this is all about the multicellular organisms. Now let us proceed to the unicellular organisms. So what are the unicellular organisms? When the organism's body is made up of only one cell. Okay, when the body consists of only single cell, that are known as the unicellular organism. So if we just break the word unicellular, we will get two words, that is uni and cellular. So uni का मतलब है one and cellular का मतलब है cell. So when there is only one cell present in the organism, it is known as the unicellular cell. Fine. Okay, now can you give me some of the examples of unicellular organism? Yes. Let me see who can give me the examples of some unicellular organisms. Yes, anybody? Yes, Shivansh, Disha. Can you give me the example of the unicellular organism? Okay, have you heard of amoeba? Yes, exactly. Amoeba. SP we can say, okay? Yeah. So, number two, anything else? Euglena. Have you heard of this Euglena? Okay, this is also single cellular. Third, any other example? Have you heard of paramecium? Yes, paramecium is also another unicellular organism. Okay, so these are, and etc. We can say there are various unicellular organisms also, leishmania and all. So they are all made up of only one cell, and that one cell perform all the vital activities of their body. Clear hai? So this one cell perform all the activities made by the digestion, respiration, excretion, reproduction, growth and development. Everything is done by only one cell. Okay, so that the cell will live and the organism will be able to survive properly. Fine. So as I have already said, amoeba, paramecium, these are the different examples of the unicellular organism. Okay. Now just focus on the picture of amoeba. What is the shape of the amoeba you can see over here? Yes. Is there any particular shape? Yes. No. They do not have any particular shape, right? It can vary from time to time, right? So it is a jelly like structure. Their body is a jelly like structure without bones, obviously, and muscles, and they do not have a definite shape. They keep on changing their shape, right? Okay, so this is all about the structure of amoeba. Now let us focus on the jelly-like structure of the amoeba. Can you see over here the finger-like projections? Do you know what are they called? These finger-like projections are known as pseudopodia. ओके सीडो का मतलब है फॉल्स एंड पोडिया का मतलब है फीट तो फॉल्स फिट इट्स रिजेंबल्स एज द फॉल्स फिट जैसे they produce the pseudopodia and they walk okay one step and they retract the pseudopodia within their body and they again produce another finger like structure and then walk. Okay, so they this pseudopodia help them in movement or locomotion as well as they help them to capture the food. Okay, so these are the two main functions of the pseudopodia. First, they help in the movement, and secondly, they help in capturing the food. Fine. So, what type of food do they eat? Bacteria. Yes, so can you see over here that it is producing see it is producing the cup like structure, right? And it is surrounding the bacteria like this and taking the bacteria within their body, है ना? Yes, and then after taking the bacteria within their body, they digest it and the unwanted undigested food particles they just remove from their body जैसे हम भी करते हैं, right? Have you got it? Yes, so this is how they capture their food and eat their food and digest their food with the help of only one cell, and also they can move with the help of this pseudopodia. Clear? Yes? Okay. Now let's go to the next topic of today's session, that is the shape of the cell. Okay, the shape and size of the cell. So there are a variety of shapes of the cell. We can see it can be sometimes round, spherical, elongated, square shaped, hexagonal shaped, the various spindle shaped. Spindle shaped का मतलब है it will be long and the both the ends will be the pointed ends like this. Okay. Yes, both the ends are pointed ends and they have the nucleus and other cellular organelles like this, and the middle portion will be a little bit thicker, right? So these are the different types of or the different shapes of the cell which we can see. Okay, can you name some of the cells which are shown over here? Yes, we can find this one as the RBC, the red blood cells which are present within our blood, right? Yes, and all these both these cells are the muscle cells. Okay, these are the cells which are present in the muscles. Fine. So they have the different types of shapes. Have you ever wondered what is the shape of the nerve cell? Yes, we call the nerve cell as the neuron, and they also have a particular type of shape, right? So they have two portions of their like the of the whole cell. The upper portion is called the cell body, that we can also say the head portion, and the tail portion is known as the axon. Okay, so they have certain branches over here which are known as the dendrites. So by with the help of these dendrites they carry the nerve impulses, they receive the nerve impulses and they just passed the nerve impulses through the axons to the next neuron. right? So can you see the direction of the nerve impulse? So they take the nerve impulse through the dendrites and pass it through the axon towards the next neuron. So these are the longest cells in human body. Okay, they help to carry the nerve impulses. So this is the neuron. Okay, so it is the longest cell, and this shape of the cell is totally different from any other cell. Fine. Okay. Now, can you tell me which part of the cell actually gives them these shapes? We have heard about the different types of shapes, right? So, who actually give these shapes or maintain this shape? It is done by the covering, okay, with the coverings which are present in all the plants and animal cells, that is the cell membrane. Okay, so the cell membrane includes the whole cell. Okay, and in case of plant, there is an additional covering which is known as the cell wall, because they are so much exposed to all the natural calamities, and they are standing erect in the very hot scorching heat of the sun, or in the winter also. So they need certain more amount of rigidity to maintain their shape and stand erect continuously, है ना? That is why they have an additional covering, that is the cell wall. Clear hai? But we do not have the cell wall. So cell wall is only present in the plant cell, not in the animal cells. Right? Clear? Okay, now let's quickly discuss this question answer. Let me see who will be able to give me the answers first. Your first question is, dash is a part of bark of a tree. You can choose the correct word from here. Yes. Yes, the cork is the part of a bark of a tree. Very good. Next, cell is the basic dash unit. What is it? Cell is the basic structural unit. Great. Now, dash keeps on changing its shape. Who keeps on changing its shape? Yes, yes. Amoeba, right? Amoeba do not have a particular shape. They keep on changing their shape. Okay. Dash, the dash cell receives and transfers messages. Which cells receives and transfer the messages? Yes, the nerve cells. Very good, very good. Next, the last one is an additional covering which is present in the plant cell only, apart from the cell membrane, and which is not present in the animal cell. So, what will be the answer? Yes, it is the cell wall. So, cell wall is only present in the plant cell, but it is not present in the animal cell. Clear? Okay, let us find out that all our answers are correct or not. Yes, all the answers are correct. Right? Okay, chalo. So now let us move on to the size of the ship. So what do you think? How big or how small the cells can be? Yes, how small it can be or how large it can be. Any idea? Yes, yes, yes. Write it in the chat box. Yes. Okay, so it can be very small as millionth of the meter, which we will obviously not be able to see through our naked eyes. We have to see through the microscope, or it can be as large as the centimeter. Okay, which is easily visible without the microscope. That can be the egg cells. So, do you know what is the smallest cell present on Earth? Yes, which cell is the smallest cell? It is the bacterial cell. One of the bacteria, which is called mycoplasma, its cell size is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer. Okay, and the largest cell on earth is the ostrich's egg. Okay, which can be 170 millimeter into 130 millimeter. Fine. So these are the smallest and the largest cell exist on earth. Okay, can you see how much small and how much large the size of the cell can be? Yes. Okay. Now, this is very important, which you have to remember all the time, that the size of this cell do not have any relationship with the size of the body of the organism. It is not that the elephant is huge in its size, that means its cell will be very large cells in the body, and the rat or a very small insect is very small, तो उसका cell बहुत छोटा होगा. It actually not dependent on the size of the body. It has no relation with the size of the body. तो किसके साथ relation है? It has the relation uh, about the function of the cell. Okay, it depends what function is performed by the particular cell, and accordingly the size of the cell will be there, right? Just for example, you can already see that we have the longest cell, which are the nerve cells, right? So they are longer in size, and the longer cell is there because they need to transfer the nerve impulses from one part to another part of a body, right? From any part to the brain, and from the brain to the different parts of our body. So that is why to carry the nerve impulses in that long distance, they needs to be longer. Okay, so their size depends upon the function, not the body size. So whatever nervous cells are present in the elephant or the rat or human being, it will be long and branched because it is dependent on their function, on their particular function. Abhi clear hai? Okay, so the size and shape of the cell does not depend on the body size of the organism, but it is dependent on the function it is performing. Fine. Okay, so that's all for today's session. I guess you have understood whatever we have discussed. Yes, the cell is a very easy chapter. You already know, right, a lot about the cell. So let us now quickly discuss the question answers. So let me see who will be able to give me the answers first. The first question is, who coined the term cell? And also, please define what is cell. Let me see who can give me the answer first. Yes. What is cell and who coined the term cell? Yes, it is Robert Hooke in the year 1665, right? Yes, he saw the cork cells under the microscope and has given the term cell. Okay, so what is the definition of the cell? Cell is the basic fundamental unit of all living organism, whether it is a plant or animal or the microorganism. All the living organisms body is made up of cell. Fine. Second, what do you mean by the multicellular organism, and give any two examples of the multicellular organism? Will you be able to give? Yes, let me see who will give me the answer in the chat box. Yes, Shivansh. Yes, quickly. Okay, so the multicellular organisms means the organisms having more than one cell, right? So when the organisms are having more than one cell, they are known as the multicellular organism. You can give any sort of example like the human, tiger, dog, cat, deer. You can give the example of the mango tree, coconut tree. All of them are the multicellular organisms, right? Okay. Next question is, observe the image which is shown over here and tell me what is it called. Now, how many cells are present in it and what is the labeled part called, and tell me its function. First, you will have to tell me the name of the organism. What is this? Okay. Then you have to tell me how many cells are present in this organism. Okay, then you will have to tell me what is this called. Okay, this is the labeled part. What is this called and what is the function of this? Let me see who can give me the answer. Yes, exactly. So this is known as the amoeba, right? It does not have a particular shape. So this is the picture of the amoeba. It is unicellular. उसका मतलब क्या है? इसका पास only one cell है. Yes, the whole body is only made up of one cell, and the labeled part is the pseudopodia, which help them in the movement and capturing of the food. Right? Clear hai? Okay, next let us move on to the next question, which is, we know that the giraffe is bigger than the rabbit, right? So will he have the bigger cells than the rabbit or a smaller cell? Let me see who can give me the answer. Yes, yes. Let me check the chat box. Yes, let me see who will give me the correct answer first. Yes. It's no, right? All of them are having the same number of cells, not the number, same size of this cell, right? Because the size of the cell is not dependent on the size of the body. Fine, it depends upon the function of the cell. Okay, not dependent upon the size of the body of the organism. Up to this much clear? Okay, so these are all our topic of discussion. I hope you have all got the different information about the cell, right? I hope you have all understood it. So this is one of the fact that when we cut the nails, it doesn't hurt us, right? So do you know why? Because these are the dead cells. Can you name any other dead cells which are present in our body when we cut it and it doesn't hurt us? The hairs also, right? Exactly. Very good. So that's all for today's session. I hope you have understood all the topic which we have discussed. So today we have discussed about the discovery of the cell, how it looks like under the microscope. Then we have studied about the cell, the different parts of the cell. Then we have discussed about the different organisms which is categorized on the basis of the numbers of the cells. And finally, we studied about the shape and size of the cell. Right? So if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the chat box. Okay. So I hopefully you have understood all of them. Right. So thank you for attending the session. Thank you for being with Swiflearn. So as I have already said that please book the free trial class to experience all our classes, the live interactive classes. And for that, please subscribe our channel in YouTube also. Press the bell icon and be updated with all the upcoming sessions. So do like, comment and share and be with Swiflearn and attend all the classes. Okay, so we will continue with this chapter in the next session again, and hopefully we will meet soon. Okay, so till then, bye bye, take care, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye bye.